welcome to Workshop Wednesday. So the audio did go out here at the beginning, so I'm doing a small voiceover to let you know that we are working in the Keeping It Simple series that we've been working on all summer, where we're using the Creative Memories 101 Scrapbooking Ideas and Sketchbook. And today we are going to flip open to page 33 in the sketchbook. So if you have it and you want to follow along, that'd be great. If you need to see this in more detail, jump on over to my blog and I have a free PDF that you can download. And also I have a clickable link that'll take you to the Creative Memories blog and you can see this blog specifically. The link to my blog is in the description below. So enjoy the video. So what I was going to start doing was talking about the formula, and I like to talk about these in the sense that it's a formula because I think it helps us to kind of visualize how we can take the same idea and repeat it over and over. In the Creative Memories blog post, they started with a background piece, and that was a piece of pattern paper. So that's what I have here. And then they bring in a piece of white cardstock, and they cut this cardstock down to be 9 inches tall, or this direction, and 11.5 inches wide, going this direction. And then they slide it up to the top so that there's an even amount, about 1/4 of an inch around the side and the top of this block. Now I love this idea. I love this sketch because this block now gives us the exact placement of where we could put our photo. So I love using a block, highlights your photos, draws the eye right to where you want it to go. Okay, but to continue with the sketch, they brought in a 3-inch piece of pattern paper because they want to include more pattern paper, and we love using our pattern paper. So you'll see down here at the bottom is where they put that. Now I wanted to pause here and talk about the pattern paper, that the size of the pattern paper, because in the original blog post they said a 3-inch piece, and that's what I have here. But I think our simple math will tell us that if this block is 9 inches and this is 3 inches and we place it over, it's going to overlap this block a little bit. And I think I like that look too. I do like that look, so that's one way to do it. But you'll see here in their inspiration, and even up here in the sketch, which might be a little easier to see, right here they have some of the pattern paper peeking through. So they have the background piece and then this strip here, so it's not overlapping. So I think that might be a little bit of a typo. So in the blog PDF that I put up, I did change that to a 2-inch. I just wanted to point that out. But I think either way makes for a super quick and easy and beautiful layout. So this is what the 3 inches would look like. There's no gap between it. So I changed it to a 2-inch piece, which is this size right here, and you'll see that then gives us this nice gap here. Maybe even a 2.5 inch would look nice there. But then they come through with a border, and this could be a border sticker, which is what they used in the inspiration, and or a border making cartridge punch out. Those are a little bit thinner, or even maybe a border punch. Okay, so depending on the size. So here I have a border making cartridge punch out, and I think this one's ribbon lace. And you'll see how if we put it right there on the edge of that 2-inch piece, we still have a gap between our photo block area and the strip, and we can see our pattern paper right behind there. So I liked that look a little bit better, and so that's what I'm going to use on my layout today. But this is how simple this layout is: a block, a strip of paper, and a punch out. And it's very beautiful and super simple. If you wanted to make a 2-page layout, then you simply just put another page, do the same exact thing, and you'd be done. Easy peasy. So let's look at their photo placement really quickly here. They have a 4x6 vertical photo right there in the center. I love that. And then they also brought in a mat card and matted that photo like that. So that kind of highlights that one photo. So that would be your most special photo that you wanted to show. for that layout. Then they brought in a 4x4 here, tucked it under that photo, and kind of put it toward the bottom of the block with a little bit of an outline around it. And then they did the same thing up here at the top. And so they put 3 photos on here in a diagonal fashion like that. And they have these 2 spots open. If you wanted to put more photos, then I think you could certainly get 2 more 4x4s, top and bottom. I think that would look, you would get a lot of photos on there and that would look great. But what they did in the sample was they put up here a 3x4 area for the title. They used a mat card and cut it down. And then down here they put another 3x4 for the journaling area. So those can also be replaced with photos if you wanted. And then the embellishment clusters, they put one off to the side right here over the journaling spot, and then a small one up here. The title would be here in the center, and then probably have extra room around it, so they put some embellishments there, and then a medium-sized one right down here over the border strip or the border making punch out. There you go. That's pretty simple. I'm going to make a 2-page layout today. I'm going to keep my first page very similar to what they have here, and then I'm going to take my extra photos and create that second page. Okay, so let me clean this up and we'll get right into it. So I'm going to be using Welcome Baby collection today. I'm going to do some old photos of my baby shower back in 1995. So pretty old photos, but this collection is going to be perfect because I loved teal back then and I still do. So I'm going to do mine a little different than what they had in the inspiration, because they had the pattern paper on the top and then the white cardstock. And from what you just saw, you see that a lot of that gets covered up. So I'm going to do the reverse, and I'm going to put cardstock on the bottom and my pattern paper on the top. So I brought in some scraps. I'm going to need some scraps for my second page for sure, and then for the strip at the bottom. I'm going to use this yellow stripe papers. I feel like it's pretty mellow, even though it's a stripe. I feel like it's kind of calm. So this is going to be my big photo block, that 9 by 11.5 inch photo block. And then for my background, I'm going to just bring in some white. And I have these colors here so I can decide what I'm going to use for my punch out. I'm going to start with the first page and then I'll make the second page. So we need a 9 by 11.5 inch rectangle. So let's see, I'll cut the 9 inches first. Mine is a directional piece, so when I want it on the layout, I want my stripes to be going like this, so they'll be going vertically on the layout. So in that case, I want to bring it in and turn it. I'm going to do the 9 inch cut first, because that'll be the height. And then it'll look like that, and then I just need to take off a 1/2 inch. And then my block's going to look like this, so that I have a little bit of the white coming out around, and then my yellow as my photo area. Now for down here on my strip, I liked these turquoise pieces. I'm going to keep one for the other side, and this is actually a directional piece too. That's what I'm looking at right now. So I want the stars on here to be going the right direction, so that'll be perfect down here. I'll cut a 2 inch piece, and now this one is going to be a 2 by 12 inch, and it's going to come right down here at the bottom. And then for my strip across here, I don't have any border stickers, but that would make it very simple and easy, but I don't have the full collection for this, so I'm going to bring in my border making system, and I'm going to use mirrored scallop. While I have this out, I think I'll go ahead and punch out 2, one for each side, and just so I can keep it for the other side. Island Waters is the one of the recommended cardstocks for this collection, but I just got my new dual tone cardstock in, and I like this shade. I think it's a little bit, it's lighter than the Island Waters, so I thought, well, let's try it. If I didn't like it, I can turn it over and try both sides. So that's kind of the unique thing about this new dual tone paper. And honestly, I have not tried punching it out yet, so let's see It does have that white core in the middle. So let's see if we like it. And there we go. It'll look like this down here. I'll have half of it onto the turquoise, the darker turquoise down here, and then the second part up onto the white area, and then I'll center this perfectly. So I think you could even go up to a 2.5 inch for this strip if you wanted less exposed paper right there. That's what it will look like. It's going to be hard to tell till I get everything on here. And there's the darker side. Both are kind of nice. And now for my photos, I have my 4x6 vertical photo, and I love this photo because it's my mother-in-law. Okay, I'm gonna bring this card back in, and I'm going to mat it with that one and kind of just place it right there in the middle. And then I have my 4x4s. The other two spots, this up here will be my title, and this will be my journaling. My collection. Now I didn't have the whole collection like I was saying, but I did buy the add-on pieces when they came out, where it was the artsy add-ons, some of the die cuts. So I did get that, and so that's what I'm going to be using for today's layout. And I love this one that said Bundle of Joy, and I like the little stork there. Unfortunately, it is going the wrong direction, so I'm going to trim this down. And what I was thinking was I could bring in this 4x4, my template here. I'm thinking a 4x4 would fit like we were showing earlier, and I can just tuck part of it under. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that down. There we go. There, that's cute. And then for the journaling area, I had one of the other mat cards, and I've already trimmed this down to a 3x4. I brought in the gray that I had up here, so I thought that would be a nice way to kind of transition that gray. And that's how my first page is going to look. Just like pretty similar to what we had in the sketch. So nothing super fancy. We're just keeping it simple today, just getting some of these pages done. Let me bring in the other board and we'll do the second page. And then my other photos, I like to bring in my photos first to see what I have. Here I have some horizontal photos. I always end up with my horizontal photos left over because I always have a lot of them. So again, I have 3, and I've done this a lot of times before where I have the 3 and I've trimmed them down to 5.5 by 3.5, and then I have one more that I trimmed to a 4x4. Now what I'm going to do on this side, I'm going to bring my scraps back in. My goal here is to try and get some of the same colors over on this side. So I have some yellow, and then I have this teal, and I have a little piece of that left, and then I have this as well. Now, one thing we didn't talk about on this side is they did actually bring in some paper. I just remember when I saw this, had a couple pieces of pattern paper at the top and the bottom of our 4x6. And I was planning to bring this one in, so let's trim that down. They're 1 by 3 inches, and they brought it right up here. Let's scoot this down a tad, and they put it here, and they tucked it right under here, so it kind of almost looks like a strip going all the way down. So then I have a couple pieces of that as well. So let's look at our turquoise first. I think what I wanted to do, like I was talking about the directions, so this one's going the right direction. So I think I'm going to bring in just some strips of paper across this page to kind of represent all the colors I used over here. Now this yellow one, the stripes are going a different way. So if you wanted to make sure your stripes are the same, I happen to have this other scrap here that I think is going to be perfect. I'm just going to make kind of wallpaper this side, and then I have this strip here. These are all 12 inches, just different widths. In fact, I'll tell you what I have here. This turquoise is 4. Oh, the yellow is 4 as well. And this lighter turquoise is 2. So I have a 4, 4, and 2. I'm going to bring this in about 1/4 inch from the side so that some of that white paper is exposed, so that it's a nice smooth transition. And then line these up, and it'll look like something like that. And then I'm gonna line up my photos, something like that. And that's how my second page is coming along. Probably take my second punch out and maybe put it like that. Yeah, I think now that we added this too over here, this shade is looking pretty good. Now I still want to figure out this. I feel like they're just kind of scattered over here. So I'm thinking, I have another piece of white cardstock with me to make a strip to kind of mat those photos. Let's see, if we mat them, I think they'll pop out a lot more, and it does. I think it brings in the white from the background and kind of helps pop those photos. So let's go ahead and trim that down. The photos are 5.5 inches. Probably go about 6 inches. Let's see what that looks like. That'll give me about 1/4 of an inch. I could even go 5 3/4. Yeah, let's go 5 3/4. See if we like that. Oops. Yeah, that's going to be perfect. And then as far as how long, let's put our photos back up here. Let's see, 11. Bring out the white and make those photos really stand out. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to keep this photo somewhere around here, but I'm planning to bring in an embellishment cluster here. And then for my embellishments, I'm going to keep it very simple. Again, I have these from the Artsy Add-ons. This back where they gave us some embellishments to teach us how to use the clustering, but I wanted to use them on this layout instead to kind of bring in those baby elements. So I have a little baby bottle. I thought I would put it right over here. I love it. It included some great greeneries in this kit too, and then it's going to go right off to the side. I think I'll tuck it under. Probably just trim it off a little, or see if I can get it on here and then put the bottle on, just to it kind of brings in that turquoise look. And then this cute little pacifier, I'm just making a little cluster over here. I don't have a lot to say because this is my second page, like I was saying, but I wanted to give myself a little room there. Okay, over here I'm going to bring in, these were connected on a mat card, and I liked the design, and I want to bring the gray color into this side. So I'm going to bring this one over here just as a little place to kind of make a scene or add some embellishments to this page over here. And I have a couple more of these cute die cuts. The little goose. I think these are perfect because I have a big area. And let's see, I like the little bunny stuffed toy. I'm going to put it like this. And then bring in this cute, I like to use a lot of critters when I do kind of child-related layouts. And then more flowers, because I just love incorporating any kind of flowers or greenery whenever I can. And I'm just going to tuck it in like that. So I have this cute one with the bunny. In fact, I think I'm going to pop this one up onto some foam tape, and then everything else will be tucked underneath. There we go. It'll look like that. And then I'm going to bring in one more, and it just says baby, and I thought it would be cute to kind of have that right up at the top like that. So that gives me that nice big area down here. If I had more photos, I probably would I would have plenty of room here to add it, but I think this is all the photos that I have. I picked out 3, and I want to put them right down here in a little cluster like that. I'll put the biggest one down, and then this next one, kind of put it at an angle, and then bring in this cute little banner that says My Honey Bunny, and it'll look like that. And there we go. That was pretty simple. I think the sketch on page 33 is worth giving a try. I hope that you guys agree. It was pretty easy, and then I just took my leftover photos and created that second page over there. And so I'm going to get all that here down, and then I'll post a picture on my Facebook page. Let me come on back. There we go. So there we go. Thank you guys for joining me today. I hope I inspired you to get some pages done today, and stay cool. Get inside and do some scrapbooking and keep cool. It is hot out there. Okay, so until next time, I'll be back in 2 weeks with another simple layout. Okay, so take care, everybody. Bye-bye.